Okay, so today I'm going to do, or tonight I should say, I'm going to do another quick cooking video. This time I'm going to do spaghetti, in line with trying to do cheap meals once again. And so I'll just quickly show you the setup that I've got. Okay, so there you can see that I've got my computer on a box of drinks, and it's angled down at the table so you'll be able to see me doing the cooking a bit better. I've actually moved my light because I've got these hooks. So you can see over there I've got hooks. Over there I've got a hook which I can hang clothes on. Same over here. So I've got these little movable hooks, which are quite handy. But I've got spiral spaghetti, which I already had. Got diced tomato, so I'm allowing for 2 cans. And again, the 4-bean mix. I'll probably add in some Mexican seasoning, why not? It's pretty nice flavoured seasoning. And I have 3 onions left. So I'll use the last of my onions as well. And I'm going to do that in a actual pressure cooker. So I have a stove top pressure cooker. You could do this in a normal pot, but I got a pressure cooker, which just means that I'll use less gas because I can cook it quicker. And then I'll basically, through the power of video editing, show the footage from the computer and my phone. And yeah, hopefully it all goes well. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly show you dicing. Why not? I'll probably cut a lot of this out because I know that it's pretty boring. But I've got a garbage bag just beside me here on the floor, so I'm just throwing this into the garbage bin. And I might turn my roof fan on just to blow air in. Alright, now time to dice the onion. And I'm just going to throw that straight in my pot. Okay, so I'm going to edit out the cutting the other 2 onions because it's the same. Okay, so that's my 3 onions done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of oil to the bottom of this pan. Get my wooden spoon, and I'm just going to kind of mash, and I'll turn this on as well. Alright, now I'm going to brown the onions, so I'm just going to separate all the onions. Starting to get to me, so I'm going to just got some paper towel here. Going to wipe my hands down, and I'm just going to wash my hands. So this is just some alcohol and what disinfectant stuff. So I'm just wiping that over my hands to get rid of any of the onion fumes that may potentially mess me up more than need. And I got some paper towel in my pocket, serviette. I'm just going to wipe my eyes. And I'm just going to continue onion. Okay, and so here is the onions that are browning. Even starting to burn a little bit. So now I'm going to get my Himalayan salt, chili, ginger, and garlic, not ginger. I'm just going to get my 4-bean mix. Liquid and all, I'm just going to throw it on. Okay, and so that's what it looks like with the beans. Now I'm also going to throw in 1 pack of the Mexican spice and 1 of, whoops, made a bit of a mess, 1 can of the tomatoes. And so that's what it looks like there. Let's just stir that in. Now I'm going to throw in an entire pack of these spirals. And you can see that there's not really enough liquid in there, so I'm just going to add some water. Now if I had carrots and stuff like that, I'd put carrots in there and some other things, but at the moment at least, this is just what I have with me. So you can see I've just covered the spirals with water, which is what different websites say you're supposed to do. And now I'm going to throw the pressure cooker top on. Just make sure that it's secure. It is secure. So basically you can see that this is in the lock position and this is in the lock position. I don't have it in the steam out position. And so my understanding is once that little red dot pops up and steam starts coming out, that it's about 10 minutes from that point. Okay, so I haven't actually used this a lot, so I'm not sure how far this red thing pops up, but you see this red thing's popped up. So now the time is what, 7:20? So I'm going to look at this at about 7:30 and see how well that is going, or maybe a little bit longer. But you can see the steam's coming out of that. So this is pressure cooking now. Actually, I was thinking that I might actually reset the clock because I've actually got the steam coming out now. So it is almost 7:25 now, so 7:23 say. So I'll give it 10 minutes from here. Alright, so now it's time for the tidy up. So I'm just going to wipe any basically excess, I'll be using this again, but any excess juices off everything with this paper towel, the same paper towel I've had the whole time. The same for the chopping board and the table. Then this is just white vinegar. I'm just going to wipe that down, and the same with the knife. And then what I might do is I've got these disinfecting wipes here. They're really good for grease. I get one of these, So I'll wipe the knife down. So I've got the vinegar, which is meant to be really good for cleaning, and then the disinfectant wipes. That's the knife clean. So I'll just put that away. And for the chopping board, again, just a disinfectant wipe. That's that clean. I will be using this again, but why not? Just disinfect this as well. Might as well. Might spray my table down a bit. So there's my tins in the rubbish bag. Just grab a paper towel. Wipe any excess liquid off here. I'll probably reuse this paper towel. So these are the two containers that I had from the tacos, and this is how I'm cleaning them. So I'm just wiping off the excess with paper towel. And more paper towel. So there's lots of excess liquid in this one I'll throw out. So second paper towel, this one. Spray a bit more vinegar. I'm basically doing this because you don't have a lot of water in a van. Now, because of where I am at the moment, I could go fill up water jugs and stuff quite easily. But if you're living in a van, you don't know what kind of water supply you're going to have. So this is just how I'm doing my washing up. And then for good measure, I'll use some of this disinfecting wipes as well, why not? So that, I don't know if you can see that, but that's clean enough for my liking. And that one, clean enough my liking, because that's just been sitting in the fridge after it's been used. So then I've got the lids, so spray that one and spray that one. And that's the lids pretty much done. Alright, so it's close enough now, so I'm going to turn the heat off. Alright, so now I'm just going to move this over to here. And just going to jettison the steam outside. So I don't know whether you can see that, but I've just got this sitting on the bench here, and I'm jettisoning the steam outside the van from the pressure cooker. Okay, so that's getting very close to being done, so I'm just going to lever this across, and you can see that. All that steam should be out now, hopefully. Okay, and that is the meal so far. So that's the meal there. So what I might do is just got a little bit there to taste. So I'd say that's done. I could have cooked it a little bit longer, but not too bad. So now I'm going to add some another packet of the Mexican seasoning and another tin of tomatoes, diced tomatoes. So that's what it looks like before I've stirred it. Just doing all this one-handed, so I'm learning. So that probably would have been better if I had some diced up carrots and stuff, but I just made this with what I had in the van. I didn't go on a special shopping trip for it, but I'd probably add bare minimum carrots as an extra ingredient in this. But what I'm going to do is put the lid back on and just let the steam heat the rest of that tomatoes and stuff up. I'm not going to turn the flame on. It'd probably heat up just being left like that, but seeing I've got the lid, I'll put the lid on and give it a couple minutes just to warm up those new ingredients that I've added in. What, I'm impatient. That'll be plenty good enough the way that it is. So this is the cheese I've got left over from the when I did the tacos. I'm going to give myself generous the air out of the cheese so it lasts longer. Alright, and so that is the final product there. Not too bad. And I've still got a big pot of mixture there, which I will now put into containers. is the containers that I've just washed up from the taco mince. So as you can see, I've got 2 full containers there, 700ml circular ones, and probably just over half of the last container. I got a fairly sizable meal in my dish there, and this is the pot. You can see that it is burnt, so I think I should have turned the flame down quite a lot more. I didn't really turn the flame down, so I had to put water in there to just soak that. So here we go for the water. Oops, what am I doing? So I'm just going to wipe the sides down so the sides don't get all hard. Okay, so I've already stirred in the cheese and stuff, so it's melted. It's really nice, but so that's just what I had on hand. It's a vegetarian meal. Be vegan if I didn't add the cheese to it. That is really good. So I'd highly recommend that. And yeah, the costings will be coming up soon. Okay, so here's the costings if you were to buy all the ingredients here from scratch. So I already had the onions, but to buy a kilo of onions is $1.20, and that again depends on season. 2 cans of diced tomatoes was $1.60. 1 can of bean mix is 75 cents. 2 packets of the taco seasoning is $2.50. I didn't use carrots, but I looked up the Coles website, and to buy a kilo of carrots is $1.50. Not the brand that I use, but the Coles 500 grams large spirals cost $1. And so without the cheese, that's $8.55. Now with the cheese, again, I already had the cheese from the tacos, but it's $5.80 for a bag of cheese. So if you were to have 4 meals, and I think that for me personally, I'm going to have 4 meals out of this. With no cheese, it's $2.15 per meal, and with cheese, it's $3.60 per meal. So that's pretty good. And if you have smaller meals, like you only eat, say, half a container per meal, you could have 8 meals, and that would be $1.10 per meal with no cheese, or with the cheese, it would be $1.80 per meal. So that is quite cheap, as you can see, quite affordable for those meals. You can't even really get a cheeseburger for $2.15 anymore. Not sure about $3.60, but I mean, you might be able to get a cheeseburger for $3.60. I'm not sure what it costs anymore, but as you can see, it is very cheap to have this meal, and it's quite nice and reasonably healthy. I know pasta has lots of carbs in it, but it's a reasonably okay meal compared to, say, junk food takeaway that you'd buy. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and all that kind of good stuff. And I did show more of the cooking process, which made this video much longer. So yeah, let me know if you prefer the longer videos or just the short and sweet that I did, like for the taco meal that I did. Alright, I'll see you in the next video.